ES Audio. From the Evening Standard in London, I'm Rachel Abbott, and this is The Leader. Today we're giving you some bonus content taken from our business show, How to Be a CEO. An opportunity to hear from the most powerful people behind some of the world's biggest brands. This is a cut-down version of the full episode. To hear the full thing, hit the link in the show notes. Find a new episode of How to Be a CEO every Monday morning, and why not give it a rate and follow whilst you're there? Now, let's begin.
It's hard to believe now, but once upon a time, not so long ago, Facebook was a startup.
The UK was the first place that then Facebook, now Meta, came to. We had commercial teams that started, in a small, and I mean like properly small office off of Soho Square, less than 10 people, some sofas, and believe it or not, a fax machine.
Steve Hatch is Meta's Northern Europe VP, a man who joined the company 8 years ago, not long after it first arrived in the UK, and has played a leading role in its extraordinary growth.
So it's almost felt that one of the kind of original mantras we had of feeling 1% finished. That still feels that way, 1%, and that sense of these things we can always make it better.
I'm David Marsden from the Evening Standard, and for this episode we've travelled to Meta's brand new HQ near London's King's Cross, where 4,000 people work across 620,000 square feet of office space, and there's not a fax machine in sight. Well, let's start off. We're in this brand new Meta building here in King's Cross in London. I guess the first question is, how exciting was it to come back to the office?
Well, it was really exciting, and I'm sure for all of us, the last couple of years have been challenging in loads of different ways, but particularly if you're working, to be with people in 3D rather than 2D was just great, and that experience of rather than looking at that pinhole shaped thing at the top of your computer, but to actually be with people. And I gotta say, initially it wasn't great for our efficiency, because you're spending all the time hi, and just stopping in the corridors. But I think it speaks a lot to having a great new place to come back into as well. So there was that additional excitement, and there were over 5,000 workstations here around the buildings we're putting into King's Cross, and we're now over 4,000 people in London already, and it's our largest engineering centre outside of our headquarters in California. This has sort of cemented London's importance to us, and on the global stage as much as on the local one.
Yeah, it's very much a bricks and mortar certification of Meta's commitment to London, really, isn't it? Why did you do it? Why here? Why not Paris or Madrid or anywhere?
Yeah, well, those are all great cities.
Yes.
So, we have kind of great folks that are working in those locations as well. But it is a statement about London and about the UK, and there's a combination of factors that go into that. One which is we have amazing skill sets here in this country. The technical capability here is second to none. It's also an extremely desirable place for people to want to come and work, and the diversity of this city is often something that when my colleagues come here to work or visit, they really notice that, and that sense of London is London, but also London is lots of Londons as well, and people really get a kick out of that. And then you combine that with the creativity, the kind of and on top of that, it's one of the most advanced kind of advertising markets in the world. And if you look at areas like e-commerce, the UK is the largest by percentage of sales e-commerce market anywhere. So there's lots to see and kind of do and build, lots of reasons to be here.
Now, without giving away too many corporate secrets, you've got this nice new building. I'd imagine there's some new work coming out of it.
We have specific teams that are developing products for the world here. So whether that's our interest in commerce, creators, I should say, service, and it's not much pointing on a podcast, but for our benefit over there, another bit is our Reality Labs building, and that's the teams that are dedicated on building out a lot of the hardware and software that's building the Metaverse. And that's obviously really, really exciting work. And then, of course, on top of that, we have teams that are working with commercial partners and businesses up and down the country.
The metaverse is fascinating to me, and then the potential for those things. Can you give us an idea of what sort of things you're looking at that are coming specifically from here?
Yeah, I mean, it may be worth just taking a quick step back on what it is, because that's often the first question. And it's certainly broken through into like popular conversation. And so really the way to think about the metaverse is in the early stages of accessing the internet and spending time online, we wrote to the internet, we typed. And if you're dyslexic like me, that was a bit of a challenge sometimes, but you sort of made it work. And most latterly, as we've seen that shift to mobile in particular, we would see the shift towards imagery and video. So we're looking at the internet often via mobile devices. What the next wave of computing platform, so this desktop to mobile to metaverse, is going to be defined much more by experiences where we're either participating in virtual environments, or we're bringing those environments more into our real world through augmented reality. So this blended experience of the internet, where we have much more of a sense of what we call presence and that kind of level of engagement. So here you'll see lots of software bits. So the products that give you a bit of sense of that are things like, a good example will be our Spark AR, which is an amazing tool that enables creators, in fact kind of anyone, to create filters. And interestingly, we're seeing glimpses about how all this might begin to come together, and there are now 700 million people across our platforms every month using augmented reality filters in some way.
It's kind of like that old Walt Disney quote when he opened Disneyland, and he said, "Are you glad it's finished?" And he went, "It will never be finished."
Interesting.
Isn't it? That kind of.
Yeah.
I guess, is that a good mindset to have when you're setting out to start up your own company, and then you've got your mission, but when that mission's done, the company's you've got to constantly evolve.
You have to. I mean, interesting, as you mentioned, startups, because that's a big focus for us. I mean, our growth as a business is wholly dependent on the growth that we provide for other businesses, and a huge percentage of those businesses are small businesses. One of the joys of my job is being able to meet those individual entrepreneurs, those peoples, and we never forget, and I never forget every single one of those people that's got an incredible story, that they've taken a place to bet on themselves or their family, and how am I going to invest this £10, £100, £1,000 to help to grow? So we're always thinking about, how do we build tools, and this is kind of one of our principles, we build for everyone. So the technologies we build to help commercial success for businesses, there isn't a tiering. It's not like, okay, you're a great big PLC, so you get this, or you're a small startup, so you only get that. Everybody gets the same. And being able to build tools that are accessible and democratized means that there are thousands of businesses, probably even within the kind of a few postcodes that we can see from this location, who, and not just us, I must say, other technology platforms as well, but who just wouldn't have been able to exist or grow in the way that they have without that democratization. Yeah, I really do. And a lot of that is because it sounds simple, but it's brilliantly simple and hard at the same time. With big small businesses, they'll always say our biggest challenge is new customers. How do I go and find new people that are going to grow and find my product? And once you take kind of geography out of that makes a big difference. So you're not limited by the people that are in your street or your town, and you bring interest into that, and you think about your audiences. Well, I want to sell this amazing dog bed to everyone. My dog bed's so good. Every dog should be, kids should sleep on my dog bed.
Dude, I've bought a dog bed on Facebook.
Really?
Genuinely.
Oh, you must sell me the company. Okay. Well, I have a dog, so we've kind of okay, all right, yeah. There's a number of dog fans here, but that's the power of kind of the platforms, which is to be able to go, I want to speak to people that are kind of most likely to buy this. So and On the other side, from people that are buying things or finding things, what we call discovering products on our platform, our goal is always to make that a really good experience. So you only see the things that are useful or valuable. Sounds like the dog bed was useful in this case.
It certainly was.
That was Steve Hatch from Meta. For the latest business news, analysis and big name interviews, read the Evening Standard or go to standard.co.uk/business. New episodes of How to Be a CEO are available first thing every Monday morning. We'd love to see you again.